Okay, babies, you have been played, I have been played, we've all been played at least once in our lives, okay? As I always catch the player before he plays his game. Let me tell you how to play the player like a professional. Some of y'all are just way too nice out there that you guys constantly keep getting played by these dusty, musty ass men out here. I'm gonna tell you what exactly to do to make a player fall in love with you, because there is a way they are wired and you need to mess around with that in order for you to play with them. So let's just cut to the chase, but I want to give a disclaimer. I don't want y'all positive ass girls over here being in the comment section like, oh my goodness, but that's bad. Baby, your sisters are getting played and we need to step up our game. I'm gonna teach y'all how to play the player so that y'all will avoid getting played, and then you can finally give them a taste of their own medicine. Trust me, life has never been more fun than giving these fuckboys a taste of their own medicine. You know, watching them cry, you know, be their karma. So anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, rule number 1 when it comes to playing the player, you cannot be desperate. Here's the thing, let's just get one thing out of the way. A fuckboy is usually very attractive and he knows that. He is full of confidence. He knows that girls are running behind him. He knows that literally anyone would do anything to date him because he's so hot. And I know that he's hot. The guy you're thinking about right now, yeah, he is hot. But does he need to know that you know that? Absolutely not. Now, what exactly do I mean by do not be desperate? Now, if you get a chance, or if a fuckboy is talking to you, he's used to these girls running behind him. He's used to girls always texting him. He's used to girls always asking him like, hey, what's going on? You know, just being behind him. You have to be the opposite. You cannot be that desperate girl. Do not be like, oh my goodness, you're so cute. Do not nag him. Do not chase him. Because here's the thing, players, you just have to use reverse psychology on them. You cannot appear to be desperate in front of them. You have to play their own game on them. Why do you think we like men who do not chase us? Because it hurts our ego. It's more of an ego thing, and especially for men, their egos are up here, and when you hurt their egos, like when you damage it and you hit right where it's supposed to hit, oh honey, they're gonna fall in love. Now I know some man in the comment section down below is gonna be like, no, that's not true. Baby, you know it's true. Okay, and if it's not true, you're probably not that fuckboy because you're not too popular, you're not too pretty, just sit the fuck down. But this is for those guys. So do not be desperate. Do not text him all the time. Don't ask him where he was. If he was out with his friends or if he was out with a girl on a date, it doesn't matter and you know it. Do not ask him, just play it cool. Even if he gives you a hint that he was out with a girl, because fuckboys would usually do that just to get a reaction out of you. Do not react. If he tells you that he went out with a girl, just be like, oh, that's cool, did you have fun? Literally don't give a fuck. The more you don't give a fuck, the more he's gonna try to make you give a fuck. So do not give in to the reactions that he expects. Number 2, be interesting and mysterious. Now, when I say interesting, you should be unpredictable. Like when I say unpredictable, I mean he should not know what your next move would be. Here's the thing, we girls are very predictable. We are just so freaking predictable that men already know the game. We have to change it up a little bit. So when you are dealing with a player, you have to be very unpredictable, because most likely these players have spoken to so many girls, they notice a pattern. They know exactly what a girl will say next. They know exactly how a girl will behave next. Like, for example, a girl goes through a breakup, the first thing she does is post a quote or have a glow up. Everyone knows. It's one of the oldest tricks in the book. We have to change the game here. You have to be super interesting. And here's how you stay interesting, by staying mysterious. He does not need to know who your ex is. He doesn't need to know what school you go to. He does not need to know a lot of things about you, because throughout your talking phase, he will learn new things about you. If you spill every single thing on the first date, like, oh my god, this happened to me, that happened to me, do not spill every interesting story you have on the book. Give it some time. You have to drag this man through the mud. You have to make him work hard to get information out of you about yourself, or get him to a point where he would start asking around, like people you hung out with or people who you're friends with, about you, instead of actually hearing it from you. So be mysterious. Do not tell him where you're going. Even if he asks you, just be like, oh, out with my friends. Do not give him a detailed answer, and be mysterious. Be interesting. Sometimes you could pop in a few interesting stories that would make him go like, oh wow, but like do not spill everything, you know? When a girl is mysterious, it is really interesting. Not just for girls, like as a person, when someone is really mysterious, it makes you want to know the person more. But when someone is so open and always blabbing about their life, no one really wants to hear it. Do you understand the psychology behind this? So always be mysterious and interesting. Number 3, do not be overly available. Now, this is a big mistake girls always do. You guys are always too available. If he texts you at 2 a.m., do not reply. Even if you're online, have some self-respect for yourself. If he ever asks you, why didn't you reply at 2 a.m. but you're replying to me at 9 a.m., just be like, 2 a.m. is not an appropriate time for a man to be messaging a woman. Like, I'm off social media. If I'm up at 2 a.m., that's because I'm talking to my best friend for emergency reasons. But I do not do chit-chatting only at 2 a.m. Players usually do their entire thing throughout the day and text you once a day. And that's most likely for a booty call. Or it's at the end of the day when he's done with every single thing and he's bored and he just wants some attention. Do not give in to that. Make him work hard to get a conversation out of you. When you set boundaries like this, he will take the time out of his day to text you a little early. So do not reply to him at 2 a.m., at 12 a.m. Do not always go out with him. If he asks you on a date, just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to get a rain check on that because, you know, I have to go out with my friends. Always put him in his place. Do not always be available for him. Do not always text back like this. Take your sweet time. Not text back the same day, just text him the next day and just be like, I was really busy with my own life. That makes him want to chase you. Here's the thing. Players love what they can have. They love chasing things that they cannot get easily. For example, me, when my parents gifted me a car for my 18th birthday, I didn't value it much. But when I got my first car with my own money, I valued it so much because I worked hard for it. And that's the same thing with men. That's the same thing with all of us. We value things that we worked hard for. So if you're too available for him, he knows that he could text you anytime. He could take you out on a date anytime. Taking you out on a date should be a privilege for him. So in his eyes, you are the golden ticket, so you cannot be overly available for him. The date that he wants to take you on, you should probably just be like, I'm not sure, but I'll let you know. Just drag it. Even if you really want to go out with him, just drag it. Now, I know someone's gonna be like, oh my goodness, it's bad to play games. Shut up. If you feel like that, this video is not for you. That is probably the reason you're always getting played. Just leave, okay? This is for my smart girlies. In order for you to stop getting played and to be respected, you need to play the game on them. The same game they've been playing on us girls for years, okay? And this is the cheat code. Number 4, humble him. Trust me, players, they know they're hot, they know they're popular, they know that they have a bunch of girls lined up just to be with him. He knows it, trust me. So what you have to do is humble him. What I love to do, if I'm ever having this talking phase with a really hot guy who knows that he's hot, who knows he's popular, he knows that he's that guy. You know what I would do? During that talking phase, I would just post an Instagram photo or like a meme or a quote that literally admires the opposite of him. For example, let's say he's blonde and he has blue eyes. I would post saying, I love guys with brown hair and brown eyes, just to piss him off. If he's someone who plays basketball, just be like, oh, football players, they're amazing, I love them. You really need to humble these men because they know that they're that shit. We know it too. They're cute, they're hot, they're popular, but you cannot let them think they're here. You need to bring them down here. Okay, that's how players work. Because once you hurt his ego, he will want to make you think that he's over here, he's that top guy, he's the alpha male. So you have to humble him every opportunity you get. Hurting a man's ego is the way to a player's heart. Okay, this is all about players, not about good men, okay? So if you want to play this game on him, you have to humble him. And this is really crucial when it comes to playing the game like a professional player. And the last one is hot and cold. This is something that always works. This is such a popular trick in the Players Manual 101, okay? They play hot and cold. One day they tell you they like you, but their actions don't really match with their words. One day they say, oh, they're so in love with you. The next day they're not giving you much attention. One day they're giving you all of this love and affection and attention. The next day they're just ignoring you. That is called hot and cold. And they're playing with your emotions. And trust me, psychologically, it gets a person attracted to you. It makes a person want to chase you. This is psychology. This really does work on people. That is why players always win with innocent girls who do not know how to play the game. Because players, they do this hot and cold method and they get girls attached to them, because one day you show a girl love, the next day she's gonna expect the same, and then she goes back searching for this attention and affection that she once got, and he doesn't give it. So now she's waiting 24 hours for him to be that same guy who she fell in love with. And that, my friend, is what we're going to avoid. Instead, you're gonna do this on him. One day you're gonna just flirt with him, you know, do your thing, be very flirty, you know, send a few pictures, not naked pictures, cute pictures, and the next day just completely ignore him and just be like, oh my goodness, I was so busy, I was doing this, that, and this. If you guys are just in the beginning of your talking phase and you guys are still dating other people, trust me, a player always has a backup, okay? I would recommend you to go on a friendly date with a guy. Even if it's your guy best friend, just go out on a friendly date with someone. If you want to go brutal, like brutal, I want you to go on a date with him on Sunday, and then on Monday you go on a date with another guy. I mean, you don't have to do anything, you just have to go on a date. What I would do to make it more brutal is I wouldn't post a picture of me on a date with him, but the next guy, the Monday guy, I would post a picture of him and be like, oh, date night, just to humble him. Trust me, players, their minds work differently. They're gonna want to chase you when you do stuff like this if he's really into you. Now, if he doesn't give a shit about you, he's probably gonna leave you. But trust me, if he's a really egoistic guy, even if he doesn't like you, he's going to make you like him just so that he could break your heart. That's how players just work. That's just how they work. Trust me, as a retired player, these are all the things that I used to do, and I learned this from the guys who tried to play me. But too bad, I was too smart for that. So I want you guys to be as smart as me and stop getting played, because listen, honey, being played is never a good feeling, okay? The one time that I got played in my life, yeah, I left that man's ass, but I made him come back to me in such a way that he came back begging for me, and I played with him. I played his own game on him, so at the end of the day, I won. Now, there's no positivity here. I do not want to be the bigger person. I wanted to hurt him the same way he hurt me, and I won. And I want y'all to win too, because there's this immense satisfaction when you get a bite back. Now, if you expected me to be positive and be like, oh my goodness, you know, be the bigger person, honey, you're not gonna find it here, okay? Because for me, personally, I get a peace of mind when I hurt someone who hurts me. Only if that person was important to me. If it was someone who I literally don't give a fuck about, I'll probably not waste my time because I didn't give a shit in the first place. But if I was wasting my energy, my feelings, my time, I'm gonna get compensated for that. And you know how I'm gonna do it? I'm gonna play the same game you played on me. So yeah, this was basically a life hack. Use it as you will. If you find it useful, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank me later, and girls, stop getting played.